Feeling inspired, I decided to take it a step further. Using leftover vinyl scraps, I created a few sticker designs, florals, abstract shapes, and even a few quirky quotes. I transferred these onto the canvas paper, treating it like a sticker showcase. The contrast between the glossy vinyl and the matte canvas was stunning. Each sticker popped with personality, and the canvas gave it a gallery-like presentation.
Hey there, creative souls! I'm so glad you're joining me today. Let me take you on a little journey through my recent crafting adventure that turned forgotten supplies into fabulous art. Sometimes, inspiration strikes when we least expect it, and that's exactly what happened to me. A couple of weeks ago, I stumbled upon a roll of permanent Cricut, vinyl that had been gathering dust in my drawer. It was a remnant from a project I had planned, but never quite got around to. You know how it goes. Life gets busy, and our creative intentions often get sidelined. But as I rummaged through my supplies, that little roll of vinyl caught my eye, and suddenly a spark ignited. I decided it was time to breathe new life into those forgotten materials. I pulled out my stencils, which had also been collecting dust, and began to brainstorm ideas. The beauty of crafting is that it allows us to express ourselves in ways we might not have anticipated. I felt a rush of excitement as I envisioned the possibilities. What if I could transform my space with some unique, personalized art? With a cup of coffee in hand and my favorite playlist in the background, I set to work. I started by cutting out some fun shapes and designs from the vinyl. The process was surprisingly therapeutic. As I peeled away the excess vinyl, I felt a sense of liberation, like I was shedding the weight of unfinished projects and embracing the joy of creation. Next, I grabbed some canvases I had lying around, remnants from previous endeavors. I laid out my stencils and began to play. The first design was a simple geometric pattern, but as I applied the vinyl, I realized I could layer colors and create depth. It was like painting with light. Each stroke brought me closer to a finished piece that felt uniquely mine. As I continued, I experimented with different techniques. I tried blending colors, adding textures, and even incorporating some of my favorite quotes. The vinyl was so versatile, allowing me to create stickers that I could use not just for art, but also for personalizing my notebooks and home decor. It was incredible to see how something that had been forgotten could spark such creativity. What I loved most about this process was the freedom it offered. There were no rules, just me, my supplies, and my imagination. I found myself lost in the moment, forgetting about the outside world. It reminded me of why I fell in love with crafting in the first place. The joy of creating something from nothing and the satisfaction of seeing my ideas come to life. After a few hours of playful experimentation, I had transformed my forgotten vinyl into a collection of vibrant, eye-catching pieces. Each one told a story, reflecting my personality and the journey I took to create it. I couldn't help but feel proud of what I had accomplished. It was a beautiful reminder that creativity doesn't always need a grand plan. Sometimes it just needs a little nudge. As I wrapped up my crafting session, I took a moment to appreciate the transformation that had taken place. Not just in my supplies, but within myself. I had rediscovered the joy of creating, the thrill of experimentation, and the beauty of embracing the unexpected. It was a gentle reminder that sometimes the best ideas come from the most unlikely places. So if you have some forgotten supplies lying around, I encourage you to dive in and see what magic you can create. You never know what hidden treasures await you in that drawer. Thank you for joining me on this creative journey today. If you enjoyed this story and want to see more of my crafting adventures, don't forget to follow and subscribe. Let's keep inspiring each other to unleash our creativity. Hey everyone! I'm so glad you're here with me today. I want to share a little journey. I recently embarked on that reignited my passion for crafting and brought a wave of excitement back into my creative space. A few months ago, I created some stencils using heat transfer vinyl and my Portrait 4. I was thrilled at the time, but life got busy and those stencils ended up tucked away, forgotten in a corner of my craft room. Sound familiar? We all have those moments when our creative projects take a backseat to everyday life. Then one day I stumbled upon a tutorial that changed everything. It was all about embossing using a folder, without needing a fancy cutting machine. As I watched, a light bulb went off in my head. I realized I could adapt that same technique using my stencils. Suddenly, I was filled with inspiration and ideas for all the amazing things I could create. So I dusted off those forgotten stencils and got to work. The process was so much fun. I started experimenting with airbrushing on shirts, tote bags, and even mugs. Each project felt like a mini adventure, and I couldn't believe how versatile my stencils were. It was like rediscovering a hidden treasure that had been waiting for me all along. What I love most about this experience is how it reminded me that creativity doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes, all it takes is a little inspiration and a willingness to try something new. If you have stencils or any crafting supplies lying around, I encourage you to dive back in. You might just find a new way to use them that brings you joy. As I continue to explore this newfound passion, I'm excited to create even more stencils and share my journey with all of you. If you're feeling inspired, I'd love for you to join me. Let's embark on this creative adventure together. Thank you for spending your time with me today. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more crafting tips and ideas, don't forget to follow or subscribe. Happy crafting, everyone! Let's keep inspiring each other to explore our creativity. Happy crafting!